Welcome to week 2. This week we are going to be spending some time talking about ways to promote creativity in our classes. There are a few aspects to creative learning. One is thinking about things where we can tap into individual student differences and interests. Things like projects, things that they can continue to do in an ongoing manner versus having to quick clean up and put away right away. One strategy that I've enjoyed is having not only a cubby, but maybe a nameplate or something that they can set and leave projects that they're working on to come back to and spend more time with later. This includes areas and times for their passions. I can remember one little boy that I worked with who was so passionate about meteorology and clouds, and he was so curious about the whole thing. And I made sure that he had time to keep studying and exploring that. And then time for them to collaborate and work with their peers. So we know that we can really support creativity and that development, but a lot of it comes from their interactions with peers. And a big piece of that has to do with play. So when we think of having play as an integral part of their day, we want to remember that play is self-directed, so versus me telling them what they're going to be playing. I can add some extra supports, but it really should be child directed for their enjoyment. It's active, it's recreational, it's using their imagination. And rather than expecting a certain type of product or ending, it's really about the process, it's about the experience itself. There's lots of research on the importance of play. So, decades of research suggest that children learn best when they're active, when they're engaged, and when they find it meaningful and when it's something that they can do with others. One example of this, and we know that play is so important, we've got state licensing requirements that require those house or living areas within early childhood classrooms in today's classrooms. And that's because we know how very important it is, that imaginary and play time. It's long been known that children learn and construct their knowledge or develop their knowledge of the world by actively exploring the environment. So when we think of Jean Piaget, who's known as the father of developmental psychology, and Maria Montessori, they both held this view. They were considered constructivists, and children were actively involved in their own development. The last piece I wanted to touch on this week is the concept of free versus guided play. So both of these are allowing the child to direct and create their own ideas, their own actions. Guided play is when the adults are more supported. So I might be choosing what materials are out in a classroom that's going to help direct the play. I might be asking additional questions or playing myself, but taking that play to a deeper level. It ends up preserving the child focus still as far as they're directing that joy of learning. It supports the children as they move toward particular goals. And it's kind of a mid ground. So rather than just standing off to the side, by being more active and involved, we can add a layer of learning to sometimes that free play. So both are very helpful in our classes. And the assignments and much of what you're going to be working on this week is looking at what play looks like at different developmental levels and within your classes. I look forward to another week with you.